Sophia, September 2022. How does your mental health impact your employment?
I'm self-employed, so you just have to take work when you get it, and then the worry is for me is like if I mess it up, because like my mental health gets bad, and it's like it can be really unpredictable, and I can't always foresee when that's going to happen. So yeah, that's quite stressful. Obviously, I was meant to do a big job over the summer. That was like a lot of income, like it would have really sorted me out for quite a while. But I had to basically break my contract because I was too unwell to participate, and so I basically just burnt a load of bridges. That caused a lot of stress. Yeah, it caused a lot of stress. I didn't even know how to like tell them what was going on, because I didn't even know what was going on. And then like luckily the psychiatric like decisions like unit, they helped me like write the email to them, because I couldn't even like put together a sentence. Like my brain was just mush. I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. It was rough because it was quite embarrassing for that to happen, because obviously it was happening at the job as well. Not all employees are going to be, or employers are going to be flexible about that kind of situation, or be able to understand it, because it's really difficult to, if you don't know someone really well, it's hard to notice when somebody's being an arsehole or when they're becoming really unwell.
Are you working at the moment?
Like at the minute I'm not working, because literally my friends just like, do not work. Like any stress is just going to trigger another episode of this. But then it's really hard to not work, because obviously like money, and also like you just feel like you're failing because then you're not doing anything. From work, like you're engaging with people, you're meeting new people, you're working with colleagues, friends, you're going to places, like travel around to places, and like it can be fun. I mean, also it can be tedious, but it can also be really fun. And like by going to work, you also gain more work, especially as a freelancer, because like word of mouth is probably the biggest advertisement for you. So by going to work and being like active in the community, then other people will be like, oh yeah, do you know anybody who does? And then somebody else will like volunteer your name. So by basically just disappearing off the face of the earth, it's going to be harder when I do start working to get the work again. It'll take a bit of time.
How does it make you feel when you can't work because of your mental health?
Well, it doesn't make me very confident. So like it's such a big contrast, because like this is what they always say, the mental health teams, they're always like, oh, you're so capable, you're so capable, you're so capable. Yeah, I am capable when I'm well. I'm super capable. I can travel abroad, and whatever I need to do, I'll do it. But when I become unwell, it's like I can't even scramble an egg. You know, like even like when I was at Oasis, I remember like the decision to decide what I wanted to eat for breakfast was so overwhelming that I just broke down in tears. I couldn't even make the choice, you know, and all I needed to do was get some cereal and put some milk on it. That's all I needed to do, but it was just too much. Yeah. And then that's really frustrating, because I'm like, why can't I just be normal and do all the things that I can do?